Hey you guys, it's Peter, and welcome to my channel, Peterisms, where I tell stories of my life and just little things that I have learned as I have grown into the person that I am today. And I also read meditation books over here, so daily affirmation books. And I have brought the Melody Beatty books with me today. They are my two favorites. I was really trying to steer away from these in 2021 because I have read these so many times in the last 2 years on this channel. But the reality is that other than the Cindy Spiegel book that I bought, I don't really like the other books that I purchased for this year, so I'm still looking for some other ones. I have many meditation books, but so many of them are really focused on recovery. So maybe once a week over here, I'll do just an entire video dedicated to like recovery meditations or something. That's something that I could do over here. But anyway, I really like the Melody Beatty ones. And especially on the eve of Valentine's Day. I think I'm going to pre-film a video for tomorrow because I'm going to spend the whole day with my husband. So I'm probably going to film this and then turn the camera right back on and pre-film another video for tomorrow, and it'll probably be another it will be another Melody Beatty meditation. But I think, in talking about relationships on Valentine's Day and things like that, and even if we're not in a relationship, there's many reasons why we're not in a relationship, or we're not trusting of other people, or, we don't feel ready yet to be in a relationship, or it's not knocking on our door. And so a lot of that has to do with codependency, which is the language of letting go. And a lot of that has to do journey to the heart, which is about our own journey to finding out who we are and our self-worth and our value and things like that. So I thought both of these books would be really appropriate to read for Valentine's Day. All right, let's get into this. And I'm going to read from February 13th today. Let's see. I'll have to kind of look at them first to see what I think about each of the meditations. Okay, February 13th, trusting ourselves. What a great gift we've been given, ourselves. To listen to ourselves, to trust instinct and intuition, is to pay tribute to that gift. What a disservice not to heed the leadings and leanings that so naturally arise from within. When will we learn that these leadings and leanings draw us into God's rich plan for us? We will learn. We will learn by listening, trusting, and following through. What is it time to do? What do I need to do to take care of myself? What am I being led to do? What do I know? Listen, and we will know. Listen to the voice within. Today I will listen and trust. I will be helped to take action when that is needed. I can trust myself and God. And the next one is called Valentine's Day, so I'll be saving that for tomorrow. But I really like this meditation because I think for a long time, especially with making major decisions in my life, I would always talk it over with like 3 people, at least 2 people, 3 people, 5 people. And often what I would find that I was doing, see if you do this yourself, often what I would find that I was doing is that I would wait until I heard the answer that I wanted to hear, if that makes sense, So like I would like go to my sponsor, and then maybe my sponsor wouldn't really tell me what I wanted to hear, and I'd go, okay. So then I'd ask my best friend or my husband, And what I found over time was that I kind of was just continuing to go to different people until I heard what I wanted to hear, right? And one of the things that I've learned in my life is that if I'm going to, my dad said this to me, God, it was probably 10 years ago, but I was asking him for advice or suggestions on something. And he said, if I'm going to spend the time to actually give you advice and suggestions, at least please honor me by taking my suggestion or at least considering it, not just letting it go in one ear or out the other. Because I really do believe that suggestions are a form of flattery. I really do, that person wants you to have the best life possible. They really want to help you, right? So if we're going to ask people for suggestions or advice on what to do, we should do that. But I think many times, I would say the majority of my life for me, the answer is already within me. I am a big believer. Now, I'm a very spiritual person. I have a higher power. I've talked about that a lot on here. You do not have to enjoy this channel, I don't believe. I think all of these meditations can be applicable without having any higher power. I think complete atheists can apply these meditations to their lives. In recovery, we have been taught that if you don't believe in God, just add an O and make it, good or let God stand for good orderly direction and things like that. Or just the universe at hand, whatever you believe in. And I think for me, though, as somebody that is a spiritual person or considers myself a spiritual person, I'm a believer that God is within me, and that God speaks through me, and God speaks through other people to me. And so those things that I'm looking for, the answers are really already there. They always have been, if I asked myself, you know? And, you know, I was talking to my best friend. This was today on the phone, actually. This was earlier today on the phone. And I was asking her, you know, like, this is silly, little personal issue, but I was like, do you think I should, you know, da-da-da-da-da? And it was a recovery thing. And, you know, and I already knew what I really thought I should do, and what I thought the right thing to do was, and she validated that for me. But, like, I already knew that, you know, like, she didn't say anything that surprised me. I think it would have surprised me had she told me, you know, the opposite of that, and then I would have been like, okay, why? But I don't, you know, I try to really listen to the advice of others, so when I do go to them, but, like, this wasn't anything, this was no big deal, this was something silly. But anyway, but, you know, like, on big deal things, if I do ask for people for suggestions and advice, I really listen to what they say, you know, I really listen to what they're telling me. There have been decisions in my life that I purposely have not asked other people. And in my last relationship, you know, at the very end, when I was going through relationship problems and I wasn't sure if I wanted to stay in the relationship or not, I specifically did not talk to my best friend about it. I specifically didn't talk to anybody about my sponsor, who at the time was basically just a sounding board for me. Like, you know, he never said, none of my sponsors have said, you will do this or you will do that. My sponsors have always just said, if I were in that situation, this is what I would do. They've always just given me suggestions based on their own life experience, which I think is super powerful, right? It's sharing our experience, strength, and love. And, but I purposely didn't, because whatever decision that I made or whatever happened, I wanted to make sure was because of the choices that I had made in my life. I didn't want to later look back and be able to blame my best friend or blame my sponsor and say, oh, well, they're the ones that told me, you know, that I this or that. I wanted to make that decision on my own. And there's been many situations like that in my life where I have really, like, for me, I pray on things, where I've prayed on it and I've asked myself, okay, what do I think is the best situation, and, you know, to go forward in this moment, and really ask myself, like, like with my mom, okay? When my mom got really, really sick in the hospital, and the first time that she was admitted, I can remember, well, it was the last time that she was, like, in the hospital for a long period of time, but I can remember I came home and I, like, can we just talk about this hair for a second? I remember I laid in bed and I prayed on it. And it was this weird moment. I've talked about this on here before. It was almost like my grandmother spoke to me. It was almost like I had a feeling of my grandmother being around me, my mom's mom, which is so strange. Because, you know, I was 35 at the time, and my grandmother passed away when I was 12 or 13. And I had this feeling like I was hearing this message almost kind of like, you need to be really strong, but you are strong and you'll get through this. And I remember, like, that night, I really, like, bawled my eyes out and I cried and whatever. And because I just was like, okay, this is, you know, I think that was maybe when, God, it's been so long now. I think that was maybe the last time that my mom was admitted, right when she went into a coma. And I was like, okay, this is what is being dealt, and this is what I'm dealing with. And I can remember, you know, thinking to myself, get it all out. And then the next day I woke up and I just kind of felt like, you know, God didn't bring me this far to dump me on my ASS, you know? Like, I'm going to be okay. I'm going to get through this. And I'm a believer in that. But, like, I also knew, like, I had that inside of me. You know what I mean? And I was very numb through all of that. I was, like, people ask me all the time. They're like, how did you get through that? Or what did you do? You know, you were at the hospital every day for months. I was numb. Like, I was really, really numb, you know? And I don't know, maybe that was God's defense for me to get through that time. It was hard, you know? But I think most of the things that all the answers that we're looking for, I really do believe are inside of us, you know? It's just kind of the interesting thing that I do. I really do believe, this is not a godly thing, really, but I really do believe in sixth sense and intuition. And you guys know I believe in psychics and mediums and all that kind of stuff. But one of the things that's interesting is, like, if I'm, like, driving home from, like, my friend's house or whatever, and I can go one way or I can go the other, I always kind of go with where my heart or my gut tells me to go. And it's interesting because there have been times where, like, I'll go against it and I'll say, no, it's going to be quicker this way. And then there's, like, traffic jam that I'm stuck in or something. And I'm like, God, I should have gone with my intuition. Have you ever done that? It's so strange, you know, like this sixth sense that we have, where if you really, like kind of like, you know, meditate on it, so to speak, just like in that moment, like, what is your heart, what is your gut telling you to do, you know, because I'm a believer in that, like, that gut instinct, that gut feeling. And I think, like, if you look at that sometimes in any situation, whatever you're looking for, I think it's there. And if you're a spiritual person, maybe that's God, maybe it's not. You know, if you're not a spiritual person, then maybe that's the universe. Maybe that's yourself speaking to yourself, of just having a natural intuition about what you should be doing next, you know? So anyway, interesting meditations, I like that. Or interesting meditation, I like that. So anyway, I'm going to get off here now, and I will save the Valentine's Day one for tomorrow. So anyway, I will see you guys in just a little bit in that one. And Tucker, you want to come say hi? I mean, since they're going to bark, we might as well ask them to come up in the video. Tucker! Come here. Come up in the video and say hi. Come on. Boo Radley, you want to come and say hi? Come here. Come up here. You want to come and say hi? Say, yeah, Dad, we're having a lot of fun filming videos and stuff tonight. Come here, Boo Radley. I mean, since you guys are going to bark, they always bark whenever I finish this channel. It's only this videos on this channel. Isn't it, little guys? You smell very good. He said, I do. You do. So anyway, all right, you guys, I love you, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.